Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We're going to begin tonight with forewarned weather and exact track 4D radar showing snow pushing toward Metro Detroit, but some spots could end up seeing rain. Now take a live look outside from our Windsor sky cam. It's all clear right now, but that is going to change overnight and into tomorrow. Good evening. I'm Pamela Osborne. We do want to start things off here at 6 with Brian Sherman. Brian, some parts of the region are under a winter weather advisory. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Pamela, that's right, especially our northern tier of communities. Compared to what we saw earlier last week, this is going to be a much more minor system for most of southeastern Michigan. That winter weather advisory, 7 o'clock tonight till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for Genesee, Lapeer, and Sanilac counties. These areas stand the best chance to see accumulating snow overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Exact Track 4D radar tracking some of that snow at 6 o'clock tonight in our northern tier of communities. This band of snow has been lifting off to the north, so most everyone has seen just a little bit of light snow this afternoon, but we've got more rain and snow on the way overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Some of those darker blues, Grand Rapids over toward Lansing, seeing some moderate to maybe briefly heavy bursts of snow working through the late afternoon into the early evening hours tonight. But as that continues to lift off to the north, cloud cover sticks around for the majority of the evening tonight before that wintry mix moves in. Temperatures actually rising as we head throughout the evening hours tonight, right around 30 degrees before that snow shower wintry mix activity moves in late tonight, overnight into early tomorrow morning. We're going to talk more about that and a break from the active weather, but bitter cold temperatures on the way. Your full forewarned forecast coming up in just a few minutes. With more snow on the way, now's the time to download that forewarned weather app. You can find Exact Track 4D, Future Track, and weather alerts in the palm of your hand. You can find it in your favorite app store. Just search WDIV.
Brand new here at 6, Memphis police say they are disbanding the police department's so-called Scorpion unit in the wake of a death of Tyre Nichols. Meantime, protesters are calling for justice following the release of that graphic video of the deadly beating by officers. Demonstrators took to the street Friday night in Memphis, and more protests are planned this weekend all across the country. A major call for justice across the country following the graphic and shocking video release showing Memphis police officers severely beating 29-year-old Tyre Nichols during a traffic stop on January 7th. In the hard-to-watch violent arrest video, you can see Nichols hit by police at least 9 times in under 4 minutes. All 5 former Memphis police officers indicted in the killing of Tyre Nichols have been charged with second-degree murder and kidnapping. They are scheduled to be arraigned on February 17th.
I want to say to the 5 police officers that murdered my son, you also disgraced your own families when you did this.
On Friday night, a group of protesters shut down an interstate bridge near downtown Memphis. Before the video was released, President Joe Biden called the Nichols family, where he expressed his condolences and joined Nichols' mother in calling for peaceful protests over the weekend.
I was really pleased that she called for no peaceful protests, no violence, no movement at all.
Meanwhile, in a statement, the Memphis Police Association, a union representing the city's police officers, says it is committed to the administration of justice and never condones the mistreatment of any citizen nor any abuse of power. As for the 5 former officers, they're expected to be arraigned together and are currently free on bond, according to the Shelby County Criminal Court clerk. Back here at home, a group of activists is demanding change in the wake of the death of Tyre Nichols, along with Porter Burks and Kezia Miller, who both died in police shootings here in Detroit. Jacqueline Francis is live for us with that story tonight. Jacqueline?
Yeah, Pamela, the group out here today said they'd like to see justice happen here in Detroit, wanting the officers to be held accountable in the killings of Porter Burks and Kezia Miller.
Justice for Tyre Nichols!
In Detroit, activists are calling for justice.
Name and chill the killer cop!
Gathering one day after the city of Memphis released video showing Tyre Nichols' fatal beating at the hands of police.
Badge is not a license to kill. We think that the only way at this point for those charges to actually go through and put them in jail is for the movement to mobilize in mass, taking mass action the same way that we did in George Floyd movement.
Closer to home, they're calling for justice in the case of Porter Burks and Keasia Miller. Burks and Miller were both killed by Detroit police during separate mental health crises last year. The demonstrators want to see the officers involved charged in the killings, just as those 5 Memphis police officers are charged with murder in the death of Tyre Nichols.
The police officers who killed Porter Burks and Keasia Miller, they need charges, they need to be fired, and they need to have a trial here in Detroit to decide if what they did was or was not, murder.
Both Burks and Miller's families have filed wrongful death lawsuits against the city of Detroit. Reporting live tonight, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you. In Los Angeles, 3 people were killed and 4 others injured in an overnight shooting. Police responded to shots being fired at a residence in the Beverly Crest neighborhood just after 2 a.m. Police say 2 of the 4 are critical right now. We're told there was no information on a suspect. Police are continuing to piece together exactly what led up to the shooting. Authorities say they are combing the area for any surveillance video that could help them. Back here at home, Michigan State's women's basketball coach is in the hospital tonight after getting into a car crash in the Lansing area. According to a tweet from the team, Susie Merchant was involved in a minor crash and will miss tomorrow's game against Illinois. They say she was taken to Sparrow Hospital in Lansing and is in stable condition as she undergoes testing there. Several Michigan State football players involved in the brawl in the tunnel are cutting deals to have their misdemeanor charges dismissed. 7 players were charged for punching and kicking Michigan players. Angelo Gross, Itavion Brown, Brandon Wright, and Justin White have all signed up for a special program which includes community service and an accountability plan. Upon completing that program, charges will be dismissed. The one MSU player initially charged with a felony, Kerry Crump, you see him there, he pleaded down to a misdemeanor and will have his record wiped clean if he successfully completes probation. In Novi this weekend, heaven for home improvement addicts. The Novi Home Show is back at the Suburban Collection Showplace through Sunday. The show includes exhibits, booths, and even seminars to help you get ideas for your next big project. Tickets are $7 if you buy them online. They're $10 at the door. To some, it may just be an empty beer can, but to them, it means so much more than that. Why the owners of a Belleville bar are desperate to get it back. And Brian's tracking a lot more than just snow headed our way. Who could see rain falling overnight and into the morning? But first, we now have a pretty good idea what caused a school bus to slam straight into a house after morning drop-off. We'll have that story next.